welcome to Looking Glass Letterbox for Teatime and Tarot. This is a general tarot reading. It's not for a particular person or a particular question. It is a shuffle of the cards to see what the tarot serves up to consider today. So let's see what we have for today. This may not apply for everyone. Take it or leave it as it applies for you if you should choose to do so. Hopefully there's something here that's helpful or encouraging or supportive to keep in your pocket that will be beneficial to you in the days ahead. We're going to begin here with the Nine of Swords. Okay, so this is a sleepless night, racing thoughts, dark night of the soul, where legitimate concern is hijacked by negative thought pattern and sort of taking you down a nightmare path into all of the worst case scenarios and everything that you're afraid could potentially happening, racing around your mind. So this is what's happening in your mental body. It's happening in your thoughts. It's not actually happening external to you. The legitimate concern is something that you have outside of yourself. But where the trend of your thoughts delves down into Nine of Swords is sort of where you are limited and prohibited and sort of anxious or fearful about what the consequence or outcome of a situation may be. So this is all happening inside of your head. It's a sleepless night, racing thoughts, and worry and fear to the point where you're sort of detached and frozen from interacting in what's actually happening outside of yourself. Okay? And that happens to us all. That happens to everyone. And then we have the Four of Cups. So that is being emotionally withdrawn as well. So this nightmare thought path, this Nine of Swords, frozen thought is showing up emotionally. It does. And it sort of withdraws you and draws your attention away from the fulfillment that you have available to you, good things that you have to work with, positive action and potential that you can come into exchange with, and also new opportunity and potential showing up and being offered to you to interact well as well, but you're distracted. Oops, sorry about the sirens there. But you're distracted from that fulfillment that you have to work with and from the new fulfillment that's being offered to you by something. And it's, again, taking you out of what's actually happening outside of you and internalizing that into an apathy or detachment in your emotional body. Okay, so this is sort of heart following head to where you're a little bit, your volume is just turned down and you don't feel like that motivation or the connection to your passion or your purpose and able to engage in the way that you normally would when you're feeling aligned and in balance with what is possible, where you can be effective, where you can apply yourself and take a decision and take action to effectively engage with concerns that you have. Okay, and then we have the Page of Wands. Okay, and that is pages are messengers, so there may be a message that is going to be received or has recently been received in regard to this concern that you have. And they're also about learning and exploring. So to come out of this apathy and reconnect in the emotional body and to be drawn out of these limiting thoughts and anxiety in the Nine of Swords, activity in the Wands, reconnect to purpose, just get up and do something, engage in something physically with your energy and your body to bring you out of your head and out of your feels, to be active and in motion and sort of allow that to reignite your passion and your purpose and your motivation to carry on. It's about learning along the way with pages as well. The page acknowledges that they don't know everything that they need to know, but they are in preparation of embarking upon the adventure. They don't need to know everything. They expect that they're going to learn along the way. What they're looking for right now is keys and inspiration and skills that are going to support them in that endeavor. Okay, so if you're particularly feeling stuck and detached and just, this is a mood right here. If you're in a mood and you don't seem to be able to bring yourself out of it, do something that engages that spark of creativity or invention or activity something physically that can, where your physical activity in your body can help to alleviate some of this detachment and apathy and some of this anxiety and worry. Okay, clarifying the Nine of Swords, we have the Three of Swords. So this is an old wound that is showing up. Yesterday, I believe, we had the Three of Swords reversed. So that is the Three of Swords being, that heartache being relieved and recovery happening. But that's a process when it's an old wound and something that can sort of perpetually rises up to limit you. It's going to try to hang on. It's going to try to persist. But you allowing yourself, and with this Nine of Swords, it's like you got caught in it. You got caught in that old heartache and it resurged up and it just enveloped your mind and your thoughts to where you're like, oh my gosh, why did I think that I could change? Why did I think that anything could be different? Why did I think, any of the potential for growth and transformation was possible? That's this moment. All of that stuff is still possible. Development, change, and transformation is all still possible, but this is a moment where you got caught a little bit unawares. And maybe you weren't expecting to have to feel this way again because you had done some development and moved on from something that limited you in the past. But this is just a moment where it sort of flooded you and engaged you in this anxiety and apathy. Okay, that happens. But the important thing is to re-engage with that fire of invention and inspiration and motivation. And that's going to help to move you through this space again and help to further transform and release yourself from it. Four of Cups clarified by the Page of Swords reversed. Okay, so that is something you don't know. Again, pages are messengers about learning and exploring. So in the mental body, in your swords, your thoughts, your perspective, your story, the sort of litany of thought that goes around your mind, routine thought, habitual thought, with this Nine of Swords and Three of Swords here, you got caught again and you feel like you don't have access to the potential or the freedom of thought to move forward. And that's pinning again your heart in place in this Four of Cups, where you had some stability in your emotional wellness and how you were doing things and engaging with things and being fulfilled by things. Your head caught your heart and you're in a moment of conflict in that process. Okay, so there may be something that you need to know, something that you need to discover, something that needs to be revealed, something within your own estimation of thoughts and understanding that needs to be shifted in order to further release you into growth from this point and away from the stagnancy of this point. Okay, so maybe something that you're unwilling to look into, a conversation that needs to be had that hasn't happened yet, some understanding that needs to be realized that you haven't looked into yet. Okay, so consider that. And then with the Page of Wands, we have the Queen of Swords. Okay, so Queen of Swords is the influence of Libra. It is a cardinal sign, so it's about the beginning of something. Queen of Swords is about independent thought and decision. And she's also a little bit detached in her decision. She's fair and she's balanced because it is Libra. It's an objective scope of awareness and evaluation over the larger picture before deciding how you're going to move forward. And when you do decide, make that judgment. It's from a compassionate, equanimable, I keep saying that word. I still don't know if that's a word. I need to Google that. Space of discernment that is going to be as fair and balanced as it can be. And that is also going to employ the decision upon what you're going to do next, how you're going to resolve whatever issue it is that you are stuck on moving forward. So there's a sort of a cool head of analysis in your decision and independent thought and determination in how you're going to move forward from there. And coming back into activity is going to, with the Page of Wands, in active discovery in your behavior and how you're showing up and the things that you're physically doing in your life, is going to help to provide that balance that's going to allow you to change your mind, come to the realization, have the conversation, look into the information that is going to unlock you from this anxiety and apathy here. Okay, so a Libra may also be influential or helpful to you in that respect. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Cups. Okay, Queen of Swords can also help with Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups, all of these options are available to her here. There's some confusion over which one to select. That's all right. But in this particular card, she's distracted by all of this nonsense up here. So she's either allowing herself to be distracted through habit or routine. Again, that's Nine of Swords and Four of Cups, allowing herself to be detached from her purpose of seeking connection and enrichment by this happening up here. So with the Seven of Cups, we also have Cancer season approaching, and 7 is related to Chariot. That's the sign of Cancer. So this is about taking a point of command and decision with your will and intention. Queen of Swords can absolutely assist in that aspect to propel all of that chaos into the direction that you would like to go, allowing the momentum build up behind you to propel you forward into that space of activity and advancement and success. All right, so this may be sort of habit flaring up and resistance to success and change and progression. This could be definitely be inner resistance flaring up to stand in your own way. So consider that. Or it may be something that you've been avoiding engaging with or addressing that needs to be done in order to release you into the next stage of development. So consider that. And then at the top of the deck, we have the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, that is a long-term committed progression of manifestation. So knights are about doing and proving. They're actively progressing towards your ambition. The Knight, excuse me, the Knight of Pentacles is also the sign of Taurus. So it's stubborn, it's tenacious, but it's loyal and it's steadfast and it's true, and it's going to take as long as it takes, but it's aware of every detail. It's aware of the plan of progression, and it's a commitment to follow through until the job is done. Okay, so this also could be a Taurus that's influential to you or important to your process or what it is that you're going to commit to. But to accept this and to really embrace it, you have to re-engage, take a look at the bigger picture, make a compassionate, fair judgment and decision about how you're going to move forward into activity based on what it is that you want to discover and be engaged with, and select from the Seven of Cups what it is you're going to embrace to enrich you and to help you to navigate the path moving forward. All right. And then we have the Eight of Cups in the center, and that is walking away from something that no longer serves you. So that's with the Three of Swords flaring up here. This is an old wound, an old relationship, an old connection, or an old understanding within your own story of what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. Says who? Who says that you can't do something? If you're willing to put in the work and seek the knowledge and come into connection and be active with the development of something, who says that you're not allowed to do that? You're allowed to do that if you're willing to get up and go and do it and commit to it and be engaged and clear in your purpose and select from the options that you have available in order to continue that progression. One of the things that has to happen, though, is you have to detach and remove yourself and walk away from the old story, from the stuff that no longer applies. Not that it never applied, not that it was never valuable, but it's not for you anymore. So this is walking away from the Eight of Cups of the old story, the book that just finished, the chapter that just closed, into the next stage of development, towards your Nine of Cups, towards what it is that you want. Okay, and right now, for whoever's connecting with this, something in your previous story or something within the current circumstance of your estimation, how you feel about that story, or how you feel about allowing yourself to move into the direction of your dreams, of what it is that you feel passionate and purposeful with. For some reason, there's a limitation within your own estimation of those things that is preventing you from development, from expansion. Okay? And some of that could be in your own thoughts in your own inner resistance of standing in your own way. We had the devil show up, I believe, in a reading previously, and that is about directly addressing your own self-sabotaging behaviors. So if you have to choose to employ your thoughts or your decisions or your actions in ways that are unfamiliar to you, that discomfort of having to show up and behave and communicate in a way that you haven't before, that's, that can induce some anxiety and some nervousness in the moment, but it's sort of required in order for you to have that growth. Okay, and then that will allow you to make a decision and to accept the cup and to step into the commitment of the ambition that you want to commit to developing long term. So changing your life, it's a crossword sort of a moment. A whole lot of new beginnings are available. But in order to accept the new beginning, you have to allow the old story to end. Okay, you have to allow what is done to be done and to finish it and to sort of integrate that into how you move forward in your thoughts, in your feelings, and in your actions. All right, and then on the Enchanted Map Oracle, we have the compass. The compass again. Okay, so this is realigning to your true north. You're a little bit spun around in your feelings, especially if you felt particularly engaged and excited and motivated to participate in the new beginning and the new story, and you were ready. You were ready to go, and then this particular detail flared up again, and you're like, why did I think something different was possible? Something different is possible, but this is in your own mind, in your own it's not based on something happening outside of you. It's based on how you're processing it within yourself. So with the compass, as long as you orient your compass to true north, the direction of your higher power, you will never be lost. Okay, so you're entering uncharted territories right now and can expect wonderful new experiences. To stay on the highest path to your destiny, you'll need to keep your compass pointed true north. Money, property, prestige, romance, and other material achievements can't help you find your true path. They're simply things you may experience along the journey. So know that even if you feel lost temporarily, which is what this is happening here, it'll be easy to find your way. Have faith and trust that your compass will ensure that you'll never be lost, even on a starless night when all seems dark. Okay, so what are you focused on? Where are you centered? What are you moving in the direction of? What are your touchstones, your cornerstones, your landmarks along the way of your progression? And then where are you focusing your decision and your engagement and your emotion and your activity? What you focus on is what you're going to develop. What you're focused on is what's going to be your life. So if you're focusing on things that are no longer applicable, things that have happened before and what's done is done, and you're bringing that into the present moment and limiting yourself from the potential that you have to engage in creation and development and evolution here, then that's going to stand in your way. But if you're ready to take an honest look with the Queen of Swords over what's gone before and allowing those things to be over and releasing them and reconciling them to the past, forgiving the past, to free yourself to move forward, then that's what's going to happen if that's your focus. Again, it's all up to you. It's in your own estimation, your own mind, and then how you show up and behave and allow for that change to happen. But it's not a fast change. You don't just decide, okay, well, that's done and it's over and now my life is all new, brand new, and everything's fine again. No, it takes consistent attention and awareness of when old wounds flare up and of where resistance is sort of trying to detach you from your engagement, and knowing and learning how to respond in those moments to keep yourself centered and to keep your true north locked in on your compass so that you can continue navigating and progressing and recovering and healing and developing and flourishing into abundance in the future. Okay, so a challenging space of interaction, but again, it's not forever. It's based on what you decide to do, and what you decide to do is going to influence what you're thinking about, what you're engaged with, what your options are, and what you're going to focus on to develop. Okay, that is all that I have for today. I hope that was helpful or interesting. Or that was a little bit heavy today. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.